Let's escape into the 15th century. Close your eyes if you like, and let your imagination take you away. Imagine a Europe of stone walls and winding mountain roads, a world lit by firelight and shaped by distance, where news travels on horseback and the future is decided far from any capital city. This is a time before borders are drawn with precision, a time when empires expand, not with ink and signatures, but with banners, marching feet, and the slow certainty of conquest. In the East, one such empire is rising, organized, disciplined, relentless. The Ottoman Empire has already crossed into Europe. City after city has fallen. Strongholds that once seemed permanent now lie silent. Constantinople, the great Christian capital of the East, has been taken. Its fall sends shockwaves across the continent. For many in Europe, it feels as though history itself is turning against them. And yet, on the very edge of this expanding power, in a small and rugged land of mountains and forests, resistance takes shape. Not from a great kingdom, not from a united Europe, but from a place few outside the region truly understand. And at the center of that resistance stands one man. His name was Skanderbeg. To understand his story, we must begin not with rebellion, but with captivity. Skanderbeg was born into a noble Albanian family at a time when the Ottoman Empire was steadily absorbing the Balkans. As a child, he was taken from his homeland as part of a system designed to secure loyalty to the empire. He was raised among the Ottomans, educated, trained, and shaped to serve them. He learned their language, their tactics, their discipline. He converted, outwardly at least, to their faith. He rose through their ranks and proved himself as a capable and respected commander. To the Ottoman state, he was a success story, a loyal servant forged from conquered lands. But beneath the surface, something endured, a memory of mountains, a memory of lineage, a memory of a homeland that had not yet surrendered its identity. In the year 1443, during a campaign in the Balkans, everything changed. Amid the confusion of battle, Skanderbeg deserted the Ottoman army. Using forged orders, he rode west with a small group of followers and seized control of the fortress city of Kruja. There, he raised the banner of his ancestors. And in doing so, he openly defied the most powerful empire of his age. What followed should have been brief. Albania was small, its population limited, its resources modest. By every conventional measure, resistance should have collapsed within months. Instead, it endured for 25 years. Skanderbeg did not fight as a conqueror. He fought as a defender. He understood that he could not win by matching the Ottomans in open battle. So he fought differently. He turned terrain into a weapon. Mountains became barriers, forests became traps. His forces moved quickly and vanished just as fast. They struck supply lines, ambushed advancing columns, and refused to offer the kind of decisive engagement the Ottomans preferred. Time and again, large imperial armies entered Albania with confidence. Time and again, they left weakened, exhausted, and frustrated. This resistance mattered far beyond Albania's borders. Geography made it so. Albania sits along the Adriatic Sea, facing directly toward Italy. Had the Ottomans secured this coastline, the crossing into southern Europe would have been short and strategically simple. Rome, Naples, Venice, these were no longer distant possibilities, but realistic next steps. By holding Albania, Skanderbeg was not merely defending his homeland. He was blocking a critical corridor of expansion. Across Europe, leaders were watching. Popes praised him from Rome. Kings wrote letters of admiration. Chroniclers spoke of him as a shield, holding back the tide. Aid was promised often, delivered inconsistently, but the symbolism endured. As long as Albania stood, the Ottoman advance westward was delayed. As long as Croatia resisted siege after siege, Europe gained time. Time to fortify cities, time to reorganize defenses, time to learn that the Ottoman Empire, though powerful, was not invincible. The Ottomans understood this as well. They did not ignore Skanderbeg. They did not underestimate him. They sent generals, then larger armies. Eventually, even sultans took personal interest in ending the resistance. Yet the pattern repeated. Sieges dragged on. Supply lines faltered. Terrain favored the defender. Croatia fell under siege multiple times, and each time it held. The cost to the Ottomans was not merely in soldiers lost, but in momentum. Every campaign diverted resources from other fronts. Every failure delayed further expansion into Europe. Skanderbeg himself was no saint. He was a man of his time, a political leader, a warrior, capable of ruthlessness when survival demanded it. He fought for independence, for power, for legacy. Religion was part of that struggle, but not its only motive. And yet, history rarely remembers purity. It remembers consequence. When Skanderbeg died in 1468, Albania's resistance weakened. Within a decade, Ottoman control was firmly established. But the moment had passed. Europe was no longer caught unprepared. Fortifications had improved. Alliances had formed. The idea of coordinated resistance had taken root. The Ottoman Empire would continue to press westward, but it would never again encounter a Europe as exposed as it had been in the mid-15th century. Skanderbeg did not save Europe alone. No single individual could. But without him, the Ottoman advance would have reached deeper into the continent far sooner and under far more favorable conditions. He did not win the war for Christian Europe. He ensured it was not lost before it could truly be fought. And sometimes, history is not changed by those who conquer, but by those who stand, endure, and refuse to move aside. That is how one man, in a small and mountainous land, held back the fall of a continent, long enough for history to choose a different path. He